this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is the Rode PodMic USB. A stealthy looking microphone with some interesting highlights which, as you might have gathered, include USB connectivity, but also XLR. And it also has a number of other interesting things to it. For example, it's got onboard digital signal processing and a high gain, low noise Revolution preamp setup, which basically means that it can capture good quality sound while eliminating background noise. In the box, you'll see you get a USB-C to USB-C cable, the microphone itself, and an external pop filter. But it also has a built-in pop filter too, so that's an interesting highlight in the design. Now you can see it here alongside the original PodMic, so that was just an XLR microphone. And the difference is quite striking. Obviously, you'll see on the underside, you'll notice that there is both the XLR connection and the USB-C connectivity, as well as a little gold dial and a headphone jack. That headphone jack allows you to plug in for zero latency via 3.5mm headphones or headset, and you can also then adjust the volume of what you're hearing as well, so it's pretty capable. It's a very flexible microphone, and obviously an upgrade from the original PodMic that gives you a bit more flexibility in terms of what you connect it to, because this is plug and play, and it's designed to work with multiple different devices. So it'll work with iPhone and Android and laptops and obviously desktops, just a plug and play setup. I'm using it right now with that USB connection onto a PC and no software in between. I'm recording with Audacity, not doing any processing. This is how it sounds out of the box, just plugged and played, and it's really good sounding quality microphone. And then obviously you have the ability to obviously also use an XLR connection and an interface. More on that later on. But you can see you get a nice long high quality USB-C cable in the box, and you have that ability to then just upgrade in the future if you want to. So it's a good sort of starter mic if you want to start off with USB or have that flexibility for both connections and then upgrade in the future to XLR. Obviously quite a hefty thing as well. And it has the thread mounting to mount on a variety of boom arms with relative ease. Note that in the box, this is all you get though. There's no mic stand or mic arm of any sort, obviously. So you would need something to mount it onto, because otherwise you've got it like this, which is not ideal. Now, one of the first things I wanted to try was that plug and play connectivity, because I think that's pretty neat. So with the included cable, if you have an Android phone, you can plug it in one end to your phone and then the other end to the microphone. And then all you need to do is go into your phone settings and set it to use the wired microphone. The benefit here obviously is that highlight, the fact that it's plug and play and you don't need any extra software, and as long as you're using a supported device, which it should be with this connection, then you can do that. So in an example mode, you can see here, just go in, select the wired microphone from my camera settings, and then we're into that. And here you can see that you can use the PodMic plugged into your phone. So I've currently got it plugged into my Pixel 7 Pro using the USB cable that's included, and on the underside there's a little red light to let you know when that's working, but you can also go into your phone settings and then just set it so that it's connected. But that means you can potentially get a better quality of video capture and audio with this microphone. Obviously XLR would be superior, but the fact that it basically has plug and play USB from a phone is pretty impressive, and obviously you can use it on laptops and other things too. And now we're in XLR mode. Now for this purpose you need an XLR cable, which is obviously a separate purchase, and here's a magnificently pink one that Rode sells as one of the options, and they do some pretty nice cables, by the way, worth checking out. But obviously this is an additional purchase, and you will also require an interface of some sort in order to get this working. But in my mind, XLR is well worth getting, and I've done a video explaining why in the past, but it basically allows you to use an interface, customize the sound more, and take advantage of processing and other things that can enhance the audio of your recordings, as well as combining multiple sources into one stream mix, which is really useful if you're a content creator or a streamer, or you're looking to do sort of videos online with a nice touch to them in terms of the audio quality. It does require necessary expense though. Obviously you've got to buy an XLR cable, you need a boom arm, you need an XLR interface, and you need a decent PC in order to run it, etc. So the fact that you have that flexibility here is really nice. Now for this video, for demonstration purposes, I'm plugging it into the Rodecaster Pro 2, which is a magnificent bit of kit, by the way. I've done a separate video on that. But I'm also going to do a separate video to show you the settings you'd use for the PodMic USB with a Go XLR if you're interested. So subscribe if you haven't already and come back for that. But with the Rodecaster Pro 2, you can just scroll through the settings on here and find the PodMic. Now, it's worth noting the PodMic USB isn't differentiated on the settings on the Rodecaster Pro 2 just yet. I don't know if they're going to separate them out, but on my current version, the PodMic is basically the same, whether it's PodMic USB or the original PodMic. But the basic settings is what you're hearing now. So I have actually switched into XLR mode. I don't know if you noticed the difference. Let me know if you did. But as soon as you saw the XLR cable, I was in XLR mode, and I wanted to see if you noticed that difference and the change in it. Obviously, with this setup, you can control the audio in various different ways. You can program things in there, so you can make it a little bit nicer. But as standard, it has sort of default settings for this microphone, which make it sound really nice. Now, I was curious, so you might be too, about whether you could use USB and XLR at the same time. So to test that out, I plugged in the USB cable to my phone and into the microphone while it was also plugged into the Rodecaster Pro 2, because I wanted to test out to see if it was possible, because I thought this could have some interesting implications. But sadly, the answer is no. If you plug the USB connection in at the same time as XLR, it seems to default to USB. So you can see it picking it up on my phone here, but not on the Rodecaster. It's not showing on the graphs there. And so that's unfortunate. And if you then obviously do the other way around, you can't then use it that. So basically you can't record on both sources at the same time. This is going to be a very niche use anyway. Most people will probably only be using one or the other. But I thought it might be cool. Now, if you are interested in doing that, it is worth noting that the Rodecaster Pro 2 does have a built-in SD card reader, so you can actually record directly to that, as well as live streaming or recording on your PC at the same time. So this is a tool that's well worth picking up. It is a lot of money, and it's not the only interface that you can use. Rode is also doing some other really interesting things with very compact versions of this and streaming gear, so it's well worth checking out. Now, in my mind, the PodMic USB is a nicer microphone than the original PodMic. Better capture quality, easier obviously plug and play setup. It looks nicer. It's quite a bit stealthier, as you've seen though, so quite a bit of difference there, but otherwise generally fantastic. Now for the installation process, I want a quick couple of notes here. I'm using the Rode PSA 1 Plus for this, but obviously it comes with the standard threading, so it should be usable with any boom arm in theory. I said it's pretty hefty, it's got a good weight to it, so be sure to check out the links and specs in the description to find out more about it, because you might find if you've got a cheap boom arm, it might not be able to handle it. PSA 1 Plus is not a problem at all, and this is a great boom arm, well worth checking out. The other thing here is you'll notice that I've put it facing Mr. DiCaprio, and that's because you're meant to talk into the top of the microphone. So make note of that. For the best quality, you have to talk directly into the top of the mic. This has been the Provoked Prawn. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, subscribe, drop me a like and a comment. It really helps. Thanks very much. Appreciate you. You've made it right to the end of the video, you brilliant legend you. If you've enjoyed it, click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and drop me a comment down below if you've got any questions. If you really enjoyed it, consider joining the channel and see the benefits of doing so. Check out these other videos. You might well find them interesting or useful. And most importantly, have a great life.